Hi friends and friendly subscribers, welcome back to my channel. This is Inner Hill Tarot. Today I'm going to do unboxing. Finally this box came by all the way from America, all across New Zealand, we think, and now it has arrived in United Kingdom and it's been sent from end of August. I was supposed to do like a review before the Kickstarter started of this deck, but in the end of the day it's it's just arrived here and the Kickstarter already live and about this Serpent and the Peacock tarot that come from Libra Moon Libra Moon, and this one is the addition of the 3 moons, I believe it says. And it's we're going to examine the differences between this new Kickstarter project that is now live until the 27th of September, I think. And we're going to do the difference of the energy between this one and the one that I already have, the art edition that I really like working with, because one and many things, and I like decks that printed in Europe actually, especially when it's about this kind of medieval art, because it comes from that region of the world. I believe, of course some others also, like from the Arabian and the Asian also, they have their own medieval art, but because these arts came from this region of the world, which is Europe, so I think it's very special when it comes printed in Italy in this way. But the new one in here, I believe it's printed in China. So we're going to see how it is different. Okay, first of all, the box. Let's see how it's different. To me, it's not that big difference really. I think the Chinese box and the Italian box have a similar feeling, rose velvet, rose petal finish feelings in it. It's just the design as well have a difference. Like the one that from China feels very modern looking, and yeah, it feels quite very professional finish, if you want to say it that way. It's not saying that the Italian one is not professional, but it's just like feeling very mainstream, if you will. So let's see the box inside. It's saying the same thing. We live by the sun, feel by the moon, learn from the cards by the light of the Libra moon, which is her business name, Libra Moon. And yeah, this is the difference between the 2 editions. And by the way, both edition, this one is still in Kickstarter now. It's not on sale yet on her website, but the art edition already available in the website, basically. We're going to put it here for now. So now let's see the guidebook between the 2. Okay. Okay, the Chinese one, it has the table of contents and have the copyright 2023. Beautiful as well. Let's see the Italian one. Also the same. I think in between the it's the same basically, really, because the Italian one doesn't have the explanation in the card, but the 3 moons one do. So it's just like this side is gone to this side basically on the card. So it should have the same feeling. It's just nice. In the Italian one, it's talking about what is the association of the card with the mythology that the Libra moon took. And in the Chinese one, the 3 moons one, I mean, it's more straight to the energy of the archetype. And I believe this is go towards the Rider-Waite-Smith feeling. So yeah, so that is the guidebook. Both of them, it's really nice. The Italian one's quite thicker than the Chinese one. And now the card himself. Woo! It has a gilding. I didn't know about this. This gilding is so funky. Okay, let's see. See what's going on here. So the 3 moons one, which is this one that came in the Kickstarter now, has a very funky gilding on it. It's very cute. And this is the art edition one. I will stop saying Italian and Chinese now because it's just where they been printed. I'm just going to say about the edition, okay? So the art edition one has also the number of the number of the edition, basically, because it's art edition, I believe. It started with the, let me revise this. I don't know, I have the belief that it came Ace of Cups first. It was so funny. It's not true. And then what? Swords and Cups. Okay. So let's start to see with the gilding first. The gilding is kind of like this, the difference. And the art edition have old world feeling with the matte gold gilding, which is I think it's appropriate because it's printed there in the old world feeling. And yeah, everything about it feels quite vintage, which is like in the new one, the 3 moons one, it feels more modern in a way. It's tried to modernize itself with the highlight feeling like this. And the quality of the card, I like this quality of the card. I mean, I like both actually. The art edition one, I love it so much because it's shuffle like butter to me, and it has this fine art quality feeling, but it's not very photographically, or it's not very what do you call it, like cardboardy kind of feel. You can tell that this is like different kind of paper. It felt like a bit laminated because it's not totally rose petal finish. It's semi rose petal finish in my opinion. So yeah, that's the difference. But this one, it felt more crispy, and it had a little bit glitzy on it. So it's semi glossy. So it's in between matte and glossy in my opinion. But also the feeling of it, it's quite nice on the hand, and it's quite sturdy. This card, you see, you can do this. I think both of the deck is refill shuffle quite easily, and also the gilding is quite high quality gilding, so it's not like something that catches on with each other, the cards. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. And we already like 10 minutes in, so I think we're going to start to do the silent flip through between the two decks, because I'm also want to talk about things that I find in the art edition that's very interesting for my own tarot practice. And yeah, let's do the silent flip through first though. Enjoy, guys. Oh, this one has different Nine of Swords. Oh yeah, still. There's 3 Nine of Swords in the art edition. Oh, we have different Four of Cups as well in the art edition, of course. The art edition is also have many fools in it and many magicians as well. Okay, guys, we just finished doing the silent flip through comparison of both decks. Just going to put it here between the art edition of the deck and the 3 moons part of the deck. And I'm just going to start with the shuffling of the cards before we go deeper into the deck in itself that I found between both edition and what I found with the art edition so far that I'm working with it when I'm working with it. Okay, so let's start with the shuffling because we already talked about the quality of the cards. It looks riffle shuffle nicely for the 3 moons edition. I find it shuffle very nice, the 3 moons. What about the art edition? Also riffle shuffle nicely. And I know this because I already work with it for over a month now. It's really beautiful deck. Yeah. So it both is nice, and let's start to talk about the back. From the back side, in the art edition, it's really nice because it has the serpent and the peacock, which is the reason of this deck on being, I think. And also because of if you really look it closely, it has a little bit of a Libra feeling about it, which is the Libra moon. You see there's like the Libra here, and this is like the egg, which is like also the moon in itself when it's full, which is like in here as well, the Libra moon, but this is with the whole planets, the connection, which is also kind of like signifies the peacock here for some reason in my mind, and also the serpent actually. The way the moon face, it's kind of like the serpent for me. But the thing that I like about this one is because it's like an anagram of sea, and because I know the creator of the deck, so I feel it's very appropriate. There's 2 seas intertwined here, and it make it quite, for me it's quite personal, which is this one is very symbolic, you know, with the Libra moon is very business feeling. You know, that's how I feel about it. But I think if it's like for I feel when I do the both deck in comparing, this is feels like something, a deck that you want to use to read for other people, for like working business wise. But this one is more for like your personal reading or your very, very close friends, because the feeling of this deck, now I'm going to get in why I'm have these comments. Okay, yeah, let's see about the general differences first before I go there actually. Yeah, I love this Blemmy's picture, and this is why also like the Blemmy's is something that's it didn't hit me in the first place, but then you know, when I upload videos to YouTube, sometimes they recommend the picture, the thumbnail pictures, and one of the thumbnail pictures is with this Blemmy's. Who are these Blemmy's actually? So the Blemmy's here is like saying, and it's being depicted by a lot of people like Piri Reis, or in this case is Gulam. There are all these men that venture out of their vicinity into the world. And they said that they found this type of people who has no face, who has no head basically, and their faces is on their belly and their body. So there are the Blemis, and they said that they found them first in North Africa, in Libyan, Syrian area, but then they also being depicted from someone that came from Asia as well, from India, something like that. And yeah, when I see these pictures of the Blemis, I was like really intrigued, because this type of archetype doesn't feel like new to me. It's kind of striking, but also at the same time doesn't feel alien to me, you know. And so also in this deck there is another type of Blemis as well, in the Page of Cups, which is, for me, it's also very, very interesting, because when you see this Page of Cups, you see this he's really something that came out from my Tibetan yoga books kind of feeling, you know. So, and it feels to me like this people is doing yoga also, and this is like Gangane. It sounds to me it's from the river Ganges, and that this Blemis is like also wearing the cloth that almost nothing is like a loin cloth kind of thing, that came out also from the Himalaya. It feels to me in here is the Himalayan ranges. So I felt like very, very connected with this imageries, this image which is in here. It's, you can also tell the difference of the printing. This one is more green, this is more yellow. That's what I found in a lot in the new deck, actually, the 3 moons. It tends to be more yellow for some reason, but anyway, it's beside the point, and at this story. But when I see these 2 Blemis, I feel very connected, and I did a past life reading. I did a reading with this deck in general, and both of the Blemis came out, and I got like a past life reading with it, and it's just give me a story of like how they're not really depicted as they are actually. Of course, this is like an additional fueled by imagination, but not really, because they're like a mythical figures. They're actually real figures of people, but they have a certain kind of defense strategy on when they meet foreigners, basically foreigners. So what is this different strategy of being? When I did more research, I found this picture of a bonobo sitting hunched over its shoulders above its head, similar to a Blemi. And it's kind of really makes sense to me. Like if you're doing a hunch over, if you don't know the people like this bonobo, you want to cover yourself, because you don't want to put your heart and your neck where your vulnerable organs are to other people, you know. So it just makes sense that probably this is what they do when they're like in the dark. We have to think about when these pictures are made. People who are traveling around the world, they don't have electricities. They only have like candlelight most nights. So of course there's a lot of things like this. If you see it in the dark, the bonobo, it's really scary. And it feels like he doesn't have any head, isn't it? So it's kind of like one of the explanation. And another one that I kind of recognize when I see the bonobo as well is this picture of James Dean in it's one of those very famous picture of James Dean that being taken in a rainy day in a Times Square in New York, when he was really at the precipice of his famedom, that unfortunately he died not long after this picture taken. But look at this, and you know, with the feeling of the rain here and the feeling of the Page of Cups, it's really resonating. And this is what probably what this Blemmy is about. Actually, it's someone who's like looking towards the future and about to be famous because of their charisma or something, but for some reason it's not happening. And the fact that this is a Page of Cups and this is raining, it's kind of like give me the similar feeling as well of this archetype, you know. So yeah, I was so intrigued basically with this Blemmies, because also like this deck taking out something that directly from the medieval art. So the author of this deck, which is Libra Moon, in her first deck she made certain mistakes. Not the mistakes, I think it's just like she curated images in a way that she thought it was medieval, but then someone when she released the deck, someone came up to her and said like, look, some of these pictures aren't, some of these images is not even medieval. It's like, you know, when it was the Victorian era, the Victorian people, they started to build their buildings, looks like a Greek era, like the Roman era. So that's why like a lot of our old buildings right now, it looks like the Acropolis in Athens, basically. Whether it's in London, it's in the US, or in some part of other places in Europe, it's mimicking the Roman era. So that's what the Victorian like to do. They like to revival things, and some of them also like to revival the medieval era art. So this person say to Libra Moon like, look, this is not even medieval, you need to change this. And one of it is like the original Temperance. I think the original Temperance, even the art is still alive today, so it's not really a medieval art. So Libra Moon start, okay, I'm just going to research this even further of the imagery, and I'm just going to incorporate it all the medieval art. So she started working with that person, and it's resulted this art edition of the deck, especially the moons, because the moons is like something that all they both like, and they cannot decide which moons is best, so they just incorporated all the 3 moons. And it's also resonating with this deck, the new one that in Kickstarter. It's also have, it's the only archetype that have a similar feeling, not the only archetype that have similar feeling. What I meant is it's the only archetype that also have the same amount of volume of the choices of the cards. So that's why she called it also the 3 moons edition, the new one in the Kickstarter, because then they start to realize a lot of moon imageries, or also other archetypes as well, that they basically cannot agree upon which one is the best. So she's just like, okay, let me just do this Kickstarter, and if it reach certain goals, we're just going to insert more cards. And I really love this Kickstarter edition of the art edition, this Kickstarter campaign of the art edition, what I meant to say, because it's just becoming more interactive, and it's more fun for me to be in that campaign. I think this is also yeah, what I would like to say for people who do Kickstarter campaign, do this kind of type of fun stuff things, you know. If you unlock goal, you add more cards, because for people like me, I just really love more cards basically. And I'm really glad that in this Kickstarter that now on, so this one is already over, you can buy this one in website, but this one is the one live in Kickstarter now. And I'm really excited that the people also have the feeling of it with this deck, because it has also the combination of different moon cards. And so let's go back also again to the blemmies. So why also I like this blemmies is also because it's kind of remind me of the imagery of this imagery. So this imagery is comes from Katutlier. If anybody in this channel did yoga, I think it won't be so far stretched off with this Katutlier, because he's heavily prominent in the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and also the book Eat, Pray, Love. So he's the real Katutlier that give Elizabeth Gilbert. Elizabeth Gilbert is the book Eat, Pray, Love author. So she did really went to Italy, India, and Indonesia, Ubud, and she single-handedly changed the economy of Ubud, Bali with this book, and later on the movie by Julia Roberts. And one of the prominent scene in that movie, in the Bali part anyway, in Ubud part, is when she consulted Katutlier, and Katutlier gave her this symbol as to protect her. And I don't remember if he gave her the first time or the second time she went to Katutlier, but basically I think the first one, because then she came back with him to and then he forgot already, because he saw a lot of people, right, a lot of white people seeing all of this Balinese healer, and of course he forgot which one she is, because it was like 6 to 7 months after the first time she met him. And then she revealed this image to him. You gave me this the first time. Yeah, then this is the first time. The first time you gave me this, and you said that I'm going to come back to Bali. And then he remembered her, and it's like, oh, you, Liz from New York. So then, yeah, so then he remembered her. But what I'm about to say, this is like, pretty much, this is also the blemmies, but this is already come into something else entirely. He's become like the protector, and it's kind of like giving me not the blemmies that living in Europe or Africa that's close to the bonobo. I feel this one is really close to the bonobo feeling with the pentacles, you know. It's very protecting the kids. It's very doing a very good job in being patient, and you know, try to protect the kids. And it's basically Seven of Pentacles is like your kids, right? You're taking care of them with patience to see it bloom, kind of feeling. But the bonobo, the blemmies in here, it feels more like the Page of Cups, and also the symbol of protection, this blemmies in Indonesia, and it's more resonating as a Hindu feeling to me, that comes from the Ganga River. And I mean, in here in the book itself, it doesn't say anything about it, because at this point Katutlier also didn't know what is going on actually with this imagery. He just copying his father and believed that this imagery of the blemmie is something that something that have a magic protection, is a magic amulet for him. So basically what's happening in Bali, a lot of times they do this kind of type of imagery and they infuse it with the magical spirits of the water, because it's most of Ubud places filled with water in their temples, and they go there. I also do that a lot with my all tarot decks that I love, because it's giving extra magic protection. But yeah, in this sense also, I feel that with this type of mudra in yoga is to protect the heart, which is like in the Suit of Cups as well, and to see things from the heart, you know. And this is what the Page of Cups is seeking also, I feel. It's like it's seeking with hearts. There is no logic yet to what you're seeing or what you're looking for. You just started to have a feeling, oh, I probably should be doing this in my life now. So I felt this is what this Blemmy is about. It's about to protect your passion and to seek things from your passion point of view, this is what I think also the secret of the success of Elizabeth Gilbert, because when she got this protection symbol, she started to getting rid of everything that she doesn't resonate with her anymore. At that point, she got a divorce, she sell the house, she's moving in with her friend, and she started a voyage to Italy because she forgot what is the taste of food in her mouth. And this is really what the Page of Cups and the Blemmy is about, I feel. You know, it's just like to have a feeling. What is the feeling that I want to feel right now? What is the next thing for me? So I feel this is what this archetype with the Page of Cups is really resonating. And also, of course, the major thing as well that I found is also with the Saki Saki Tarot, the connection of these two decks. It's insane when I'm thinking about it. And of course, this is like the Suit of Wands that I found. I don't know if even like Monica Kiyosaki, she has a different interpretation about this. But when I see this also, the Blemmies, I was like, oh my God, Becky. The Two of Cups. Let's just stick to the cup suit because she put a lot of different minor arcana also headless. But look at this. With this kind of feeling. This is all the archetypes of do things from your feelings, not from your head, essentially. So I'm really, and I didn't connect all of these imageries before I saw this image, basically. I didn't connect about it at all. It's just very familiar to me, and then it's kind of suddenly hit me in the head. And I think one part of the reason of why I can get connected like this is, yeah, because the way Libra Moon took the imagery is very true to the timeline. So she's kind of editing the images that looks medieval but actually not come from that era at all, which is I really appreciate, you know. And then it kind of make the deck has this kind of properties which is like giving off information of the old world or something like that, things that the people saw before at that time, that we kind of connected with it differently in a way, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited. That's why I'm talking about it. It's 46 minutes already. So yeah, let's also talk about a little bit of the differences between the two decks. The new decks that live in the Kickstarter now is repurposing the image of the Fool that I believe in the first edition and the art one, but making it into the Seven of Swords energy. I love both cards, and this one has more humor into it, you know, which is like it's already quite humorous in here as the Fool in itself. So it's quite special to me. Well, the Magician, it's not it. And so the Emperor here is the Charlemagne Emperor, and I like the way the both card has a very neat border, natural border from the picture in itself. And the Charlemagne, I know that from the creator of this deck has affinity with Charlemagne, so I think the way the sea here also, one of it is from Charlemagne in itself, in the Emperor. Okay, and now I'm going to be critical a little bit with the Eight of Cups imagery here. Okay, in here that I found it's a little bit annoying. Okay, so in this art part, it's already not aligned, the lines, but because the border is so big, so you don't really realize it immediately but when you like crop it like this, I mean, you can really easily Photoshop this to have a even border actually. So this is a technicality with Photoshop that you can, you know, do something about very easily. To me, this is what bother me a little bit actually. But yeah, and the different cards is they have different Three of Cups in this deck and the World cards from the original. So of course the Seven of Swords is different than the art deck. So this is the Three of Cups here. That is quite different. The art one is like more the angelic beings having drinks, and I think this is more correct. Of the Three of Cups, actually it's not angelic beings like having dinner or whatever and saying like, so what we be doing with this person is like, you know, higher self talking. And in this deck it's more like the 3D, the conscious part of us talking, so what we should do about this project kind of feeling. This is funny, but this is feelings like this. This is higher self and this is like our conscious self. Beautiful, beautiful cards. So after talking about these two decks together, what am I feeling in general? I feel the two decks is quite good in its own regard. I personally, I love the art edition, of course, because it's really resonated to me, and it's already giving me a lot of information about myself, about the blemishes, like you saw already in this video. I'm excited. What else am I going to find when I'm working more with these imageries, you know, in the art edition one? But like I said again, I think I would use this one to actually give reading, or actually not really giving reading, but when I do tarot workshop, because the imagery is quite interesting for people to do it, especially when they're under influence of like cacao. So it's just opening up their minds more, and on top of that they're not going to be super in the blind, because Libra Moon told me that she's doing this deck based on the images in Rider Waite Smith. you know, so how she do it is like she's looking at an image and she's looking at Rider Waite Smith, which one is the closest to Rider Waite Smith images at certain points or at certain image. So that's also why she put the what do you call it, that's why she also puts the contents of the deck in this way: Wands, Pentacles, Swords, Cups, and Major Arcana. So she wants to mimicking how she's doing the deck. So it's based on the imagery and then which kind of feeling or kind of spirit that related to this imagery with the Rider Waite Smith. And then she make it happen into the Pentacles. Oh, this is what you are. And then she's make it more clarity which cards. I think I can see that she has many different images related to one single archetype, and then she's kind of make a clarity out of it, which one is resonating more with which archetype, and then the feeling as well. And she told me also that she's feel more this deck is more like something that came out by itself. So it's really like come from the minor arcana in the manifestation, and then they go to the major arcana. So that's why the table of contents is like that as well. Just I think it's pretty neat, and it's pretty, why not, you know, because the way tarot cards made, if we learn from a lot from the history of it, people interchange things all the time. And even Rider Waite Smith, they are like doing it as a project because the Golden Dawn asked their own member to create their own tarot decks. It's basically how to create your own destiny based on your astrological charts, right? That's why like Arthur Waite changed the strength from 11 to 8 because it's more resonating to his own birth time. And as you can see now, it's become one of those timeless classic. He lived forever basically with Pamela Coleman Smith, you know, in the spirit of even this deck that's related to Rider Waite Smith. So yeah, so that's why not doing it in this way with the Serpent and Peacock Tarot. So that's basically it, guys. Please let me know if you like this type of video, you know, like doing some review or sneak peek of decks that already live in Kickstarter or beforehand, because then I will concentrate my effort also to do this type of deck more. This type of video, I mean, not deck. I'm not the creator of decks at this moment, because I'm also right now is reviewing what I've been doing this year with all of the videos that I'm doing. It seems like people enjoying it when I'm talk in the video more instead of silent more. So maybe that's the kind of video also that I'm going to be more concentrating in doing in the future. But if you like the silent flip through, please also let me know. Then I will make sure the silent flip through is for very special decks in my heart. So thank you so much, guys, for your time again, and I hope this video is beneficial for you. And I really recommend you to get the Serpent and Peacock Tarot, especially if you like medieval art. For me, this is love, because I get so much information from this deck. So yeah, if you're someone who also read a lot of past life, also you can see from the White Feather Tarot, one of the general reading YouTubers that's so popular. I will link in the link down below to her page as well, which using this deck. And most of her reading when she's using this deck is everything about inheritance, about past life as well, and karma. So I really feel this deck, the art one, has something to do with it. We don't know yet about this one because I just got it and how I'm going to feel using it, but yeah, this is quite special deck in my heart. And so thank you so much again for watching this video today, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and comments if you like this type of video, and see you in the new one. Bye bye.